In the first scene, 15-year-old Don Sangster attempts suicide by the train tracks or gives the viewer the impression he intends to commit suicide. However, he lets the train rush past him and simply watches. The next scene shows him getting therapy in a brightly colored room. Don appears to have tuned out the therapist and simply jots down a drawing in his notebook. He then tears the page from his book and walks out the room, leaving a puzzled therapist who eyes his drawing, which features the therapist going, blah 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 blah. Don asks his brother about his relationship with someone who his brother thinks fondly of. His brother seems happy with her. Don is a talented teenager who draws a lot of comic stories, and since being told he had terminal cancer has lived in a world occupied by his superhero. Don frequently suffers from hallucinations and during a scan, sees a twisted woman, a cartoon and figment of his imagination, laughing hideously at him. In the reception room, a boy named Billy won't stop staring at Don. Don is drawing a picture and then rips it out of his book and hands it to Billy, getting up and leaving. It is a picture of a boy standing in a hole in a cemetery. Behind him there is a grave with the name, Billy, written on it. In an effort to stop his suicide attempts, his parents send him to therapy. Eventually, he is sent to see a psychiatrist, Dr. Adrian King, Andy Serkis, one whom he initially does not like, but whom he forms a bond with quickly. Don walks home from school alone and balances on the wall of a bridge as cars rush past below him. He cautiously walks across, unaware that he has been spotted by the therapist. Don visually shows the therapist his opinion on his methods when he graffitis a skull and crossbones on his boat. However, later Don comes and cleans it off for him, and his therapist offers love advice for his crush Shelley. Shelley reads out an essay from her book. Don looks at it and realizes she has not done her homework and is left amazed. The teacher is on the phone and has not been listening to her. On the way out of the classroom, Don tells her, "Nice essay," and she smiles knowing he knows too. Don turns up at a party where he and his friends perfect the recipe for a drink made from alcoholic wines and beers. Grinning, Don takes a sip. On the way home he spots the W. Oman again, and it shows him spraying the air with something. In the morning there is graffitied woman on the school window which people crowd around taking pictures of. His parents are infuriated and he has been suspended from school for a week. Eventually, he is made to scrub it off, and so does so when unexpectedly, Shelley kneels down and helps him. Don returns to the therapist and notices a picture of Dr. King's wife who died a while ago. During an English lesson, Don and Shelley pass notes between each other and end up deciding to attend a party on the weekend. Don asks his therapist for over advice and attends the party with Shelley. Before the party they both talk on top of a building admiring the view. Shelley tells Don she likes his drawings. Flattered, Don tells her she is the smartest girl in the class and really beautiful. Shelley does not think that is a talent, and would do anything for a talent like Don's. The party goes well until they discover a video of Shelley exposing her breasts and lying on the floor and beginning to strip off her clothes. Someone tells Don his girlfriend is dirty and crazy, intended as a joke. Embarrassed, Don claims she is not his girlfriend and they hardly know each other. Then he spots Shelley, who has heard what he said. She drives off on her motorbike without him. Don arrives home panicking and heartbroken and is then spotted by his therapist, who asks him what's wrong. Don tells him to go away and leave, shouting loudly. It results with him having a panic attack and needing to be rushed to the hospital. Don is informed his cancer has got worse and has only a few days left to live. His father decides to spend some time with his son smoking, and the two get very emotional. When Don's mother finds out, she tells the father to drive him to hospital. Don has a conversation with a younger patient who has cancer too. She claims she wants to be a dancer when she is older. Billy says he'll be a prince and Don reveals he wants to be a superhero. Don's brother confesses to Don's friend that he does not want Don to die a virgin. They go around the school asking girls if they'll have sex with Don. All of them say that it sounds gross. Eventually they find some girls who are attractive and willing. Don is embarrassed when they show him pictures of the girls and ask for him to make a pic. Realizing they've asked the majority of the girls in the school, Don hesitates. However, with the help of his therapist, they get one to agree. Don is completely nervous during his conversation with them and they stumble across the subject of true love. She then asks for Don to show her some of his pictures. She is impressed and tells him she would do anything for a talent like his. He is reminded of Shelley. In a hallucination he sees the medic woman who tried to kill him with a kiss. He leaves her apartment and goes to Shelley and apologizes. The two walk along a beach, hand in hand. Don makes her promise that if she's upset at all then she should go there and think of him. She promises. The scene fades and it shows Don on his bed dying in peace. His therapist gets on his sailboat which he has painted and drawn a similar skull and crossbones onto what Don drew. Shelley is on the rock and the sailboat sails in the distance. It cuts into the credits.